How Peloton obliterated the 30-bulb gym industry overnight. Picture this. A stationary bike sitting in someone's living room just destroyed an industry that took over a century to build. In 2012, the global gym and health club industry was worth $30 billion, with over 180,000 facilities worldwide serving 174 million members who religiously paid their monthly dues. Traditional gyms had perfected a business model that seemed bulletproof. Lock customers into annual contracts, bank on the fact that 67% would rarely show up after February, and keep expanding with massive overhead costs. Then came Peloton, founded by John Foley in a Manhattan apartment, with nothing more than a crazy idea. What if we could bring the energy, instruction, and community of a boutique fitness class directly into people's homes? What happened next wasn't just disruption, it was complete annihilation. A company that started with 5 employees and a dream managed to vaporize gym memberships, shutter fitness studios, and force an entire industry to question its very existence. This is the story of how a $2,000 bike with a screen became the wrecking ball that demolished the traditional fitness world. The fitness industry in 2012 was absolutely massive and seemingly untouchable. Planet Fitness alone had grown to over 1,200 locations by capitalizing on the judgment-free zone concept, while premium chains like Equinox commanded monthly fees exceeding $200 in major cities. The boutique fitness explosion was in full swing. SoulCycle had reached cult status with spin classes costing $40 per session, while Barry's Bootcamp and Orange Theory were expanding rapidly across major metropolitan areas. These companies had cracked the code on what consumers wanted: high-energy group classes, motivational instructors, and a sense of community. But they also came with significant friction points that nobody seemed to address. Getting to the gym required commuting, parking, changing clothes, and working around class schedules that might not fit your life. The average gym member spent 23 minutes just getting to and from their workout, and premium boutique classes required booking days or weeks in advance. Studio cycling classes were particularly expensive. The average SoulCycle enthusiast spent over $3,000 annually on classes alone. Meanwhile, traditional gym chains were stuck in a race to the bottom, competing primarily on price, while offering increasingly crowded facilities with outdated equipment and minimal personal attention. The writing was on the wall, but nobody in the fitness industry could read it. John Foley wasn't even a fitness industry insider when he conceived the idea that would eventually destroy it. Working as an e-commerce executive, Foley became frustrated with his wife's expensive SoulCycle habit and the logistics nightmare of booking popular classes in New York City. His eureka moment came when he realized that the most valuable component of boutique fitness wasn't the physical space or even the equipment. It was the instruction and the energy of a live class. In 2012, Foley founded Peloton with co-founders Tom Cortese, Graham Stanton, Hisao Kushi, and Yoni Feng, initially operating out of a small Manhattan office. The concept seemed almost absurdly simple: create a high-quality stationary bike, attach a large touchscreen, and stream live cycling classes directly to people's homes. But executing this vision required solving complex technical challenges that had never been attempted at scale. They needed to build broadcast-quality studios, recruit world-class instructors, develop sophisticated streaming technology, manufacture premium hardware, and create a software platform that could handle thousands of concurrent users. The team raised $400,000 in seed funding and spent 2 years in stealth mode, obsessing over every detail from the bike's industrial design to the streaming video quality. When Peloton launched publicly in 2014, the fitness industry largely dismissed it as an expensive novelty for wealthy tech enthusiasts. The original Peloton bike cost $2,245 plus a monthly subscription fee of $39, a significant upfront investment that seemed prohibitively expensive compared to basic gym memberships. Traditional fitness executives couldn't understand why anyone would pay premium prices for what appeared to be a fancy exercise bike when they could access unlimited equipment and classes at their local gym. But Peloton had identified something the industry missed. Convenience wasn't just a nice-to-have feature, it was the primary barrier preventing people from exercising consistently. Early adopters immediately grasped the value proposition. They could take a high-energy cycling class whenever they wanted, without commuting, without booking in advance, and without dealing with crowded studios or judgmental environments. The live classes created authentic energy and motivation, while the on-demand library meant workouts were available 24/7. Peloton's instructors became celebrities in their own right, developing massive social media followings and personal brands that rivaled traditional fitness personalities. The company's first major breakthrough came when they realized they weren't just selling exercise equipment. They were selling a complete fitness experience that happened to be delivered through hardware. The metrics that emerged from early Peloton users should have terrified every gym executive in America. Traditional gym members averaged just 1.7 visits per week and typically canceled their memberships within 12 months. Peloton users, by contrast, averaged 4.2 workouts per week and maintained their subscriptions at a rate of over 95% annually. Even more alarming for traditional gyms, Peloton users were specifically canceling their boutique cycling memberships and premium gym packages. A SoulCycle devotee spending $200 monthly on classes could justify a Peloton purchase within 6 months while gaining unlimited access to live and on-demand content. The company's Net Promoter Score consistently exceeded 70, indicating that users weren't just satisfied. They were evangelical advocates actively recommending Peloton to friends and family. By 2016, Peloton had sold over 38,000 bikes and was generating $400 million in annual revenue. The waiting list for new bikes stretched to 8 weeks as manufacturing struggled to keep pace with demand. Celebrity endorsements from Hugh Jackman, Usher, and numerous professional athletes created additional mainstream credibility. But the most damaging metric for traditional gyms was the lifetime value of a Peloton customer, averaging over $4,000 compared to just $1,800 for traditional gym members. Peloton's expansion strategy systematically targeted the most profitable segments of the traditional fitness industry. In 2018, they launched Peloton Tread, bringing the same premium instruction and technology platform to running workouts. This directly attacked high-end treadmill classes and running studios that charged premium prices for group workouts. The company then introduced yoga, meditation, strength training, and outdoor content, transforming from a cycling company into a comprehensive fitness platform. Each new content category pulled users away from specialized studios and gym classes. Peloton's instructor roster grew to over 30 personalities, each developing dedicated followings that transcended traditional fitness demographics. Live classes regularly attracted 20,000 concurrent participants, creating a sense of community and shared experience that rivaled physical studios. The company's content production became increasingly sophisticated, with multiple cameras, professional lighting, and curated music that created broadcast-quality experiences. They opened a 35,000-square-foot production facility in New York, essentially becoming a media company that happened to sell fitness equipment. International expansion began in 2018, with launches in Canada and the United Kingdom, bringing the same disruption to global fitness markets. By 2019, Peloton had over 1.4 million subscribers and had raised $994 million in their initial public offering, valuing the company at $8.1 billion. The COVID-19 pandemic didn't just accelerate Peloton's growth. It created an extinction-level event for traditional fitness. When lockdowns forced gym closures worldwide in March 2020, millions of fitness enthusiasts suddenly found themselves trapped at home with no access to their usual workout routines. Peloton became the obvious solution for maintaining fitness during quarantine, and demand exploded beyond the company's wildest projections. Sales increased by 172% year-over-year, with over 1.09 million bike and treadmill deliveries in 2020 alone. The subscriber base grew from 1.4 million to 4.4 million within a single year, representing the fastest growth in fitness industry history. Wait times for new equipment stretched to 16 weeks as manufacturing and logistics networks were overwhelmed by unprecedented demand. While Peloton thrived, traditional gyms faced an apocalyptic scenario. Over 17% of gym and fitness facilities permanently closed during 2020, representing thousands of locations and hundreds of thousands of jobs eliminated. Major chains like Gold's Gym and 24-Hour Fitness filed for bankruptcy, closing hundreds of locations and defaulting on billions in lease obligations. Boutique studios were hit even harder. SoulCycle closed 25 locations permanently, while countless independent yoga studios, cycling studios, and specialty fitness concepts simply vanished. Even after reopening, gyms faced capacity restrictions, enhanced cleaning requirements, and consumer reluctance to return to shared indoor spaces. The pandemic revealed the fundamental vulnerability of the traditional fitness model: massive fixed costs combined with location-dependent revenue streams. Gyms had invested billions in real estate, equipment, and staffing based on the assumption that people would always need to travel to a specific location for quality workouts. When that assumption collapsed overnight, the entire economic model became unsustainable. Peloton, meanwhile, had built a business model that became more valuable during isolation and uncertainty. Their users weren't just maintaining their subscriptions, they were increasing their usage and recommending the platform to friends and family members who were also stuck at home. The company's connected fitness ecosystem created network effects that traditional gyms couldn't replicate. As more users joined live classes, the energy and community aspect became stronger, which attracted additional users and improved retention rates. Peloton's subscription revenue model provided predictable monthly cash flows, while gyms faced unpredictable membership freezes, cancellations, and reduced capacity constraints. The stock price reflected this dramatic shift in investor confidence. Peloton's market capitalization peaked at over $50 billion in January 2021, making it more valuable than established fitness chains, equipment manufacturers, and most traditional media companies combined. Even as gyms began reopening in 2021, the damage to the traditional fitness industry was irreversible. Consumer behavior had fundamentally shifted during the pandemic, with 76% of former gym members saying they plan to maintain at least some home workout routines permanently. Peloton's success had also spawned dozens of competitors and copycats, from Mirror's interactive home gym to Apple Fitness Plus, and countless connected fitness startups that further fragmented the market. Traditional gym chains attempting to rebuild faced higher costs, reduced demand, and competition from an entire ecosystem of home fitness solutions that hadn't existed 3 years earlier. Many gym operators pivoted desperately toward hybrid models, offering virtual classes and outdoor workouts. But these efforts felt reactive rather than innovative. The premium boutique fitness segment was particularly devastated. Why pay $40 for a single SoulCycle class when you could access unlimited Peloton content for the same monthly cost? Commercial real estate markets in major cities saw fitness-related lease defaults spike as operators realized they could no longer justify premium rents for spaces that could be replicated more efficiently in customers' homes. The fundamental value proposition of traditional fitness, access to equipment, instruction, and community, had been unbundled and delivered more conveniently through connected home fitness platforms. The obliteration of the traditional fitness industry by Peloton represents one of the most dramatic examples of technological disruption in consumer markets. A company that didn't exist in 2012 managed to redefine how hundreds of millions of people think about exercise, community, and convenience. The $30 billion gym industry, built over decades of expansion and optimization, proved remarkably fragile when confronted with a fundamentally superior value proposition. Peloton's success wasn't just about better technology or savvy marketing, it was about recognizing that the most successful businesses solve genuine customer problems rather than optimizing existing solutions. Traditional gyms had become so focused on maximizing facility utilization and membership sales that they lost sight of the friction points preventing people from exercising consistently. Peloton eliminated those friction points while enhancing the aspects of fitness that people valued most: high-quality instruction, motivational energy, and community connection. The company's eventual struggles with supply chain issues, product recalls, and market saturation don't diminish the magnitude of their disruption to traditional fitness. They proved that location-based fitness was a feature, not a requirement, and that consumers would pay premium prices for convenience and quality. The fitness industry that emerges from this disruption will be fundamentally different, built around flexibility, technology integration, and customer convenience rather than geographic proximity and facility-based services. Peloton didn't just build a successful business, they demonstrated that entire industries built on artificial scarcity and inconvenience could be eliminated overnight by companies willing to reimagine the customer experience from first principles.